Right guys, welcome back to part 2 in this series. It's all about the inner workings of actually how do you make 100 grand a year profit from a decent construction business. It doesn't matter what trade you're in. This applies to any trade. It's all the same stuff. You just got to use it and make it work for you in the examples that are given and break it down, okay? So let's crack on. And today we're going to be talking about how do you actually set yourself up to be a company that charges decent money, a fair price to a customer, where you're making good money and the customer's getting a really good service. Like what are the inner workings of that, and what do you need to sort of focus on to get you set up for being the best and get you on your best foot forward really of actually being that right company? Because there's certain things you've got to do. You've got to be able to deliver on what you say you're going to be able to deliver on. And if you want to earn money, you've got to be bloody good. So let's look at that and let's really start breaking that down now. Now, firstly, I want to tackle the elephant in the room, because I know a lot of people, especially tradesmen, they're typically worried that, well, how can I go from just charging a day rate to then charging, profit on all different types of people, so my price is going to be higher. And look, reality check, there is always going to be someone cheaper than you. There's always going to be someone more expensive than you. What I'm doing in this series and this video, if you like, is getting you to think like a proper business person, of charging fair prices. Like if you want to just charge a day rate and just survive and go through life, this series is not for you. This is all about proper fundamentals of business to make money. Now, you've got to understand that everyone charges decent margins. I really need to get across to you guys watching this, you have to make money. You have to make money, okay? Now, the thing is, your mindset will change as soon as you do charge up work properly with the right margins on, and then you actually win the work and the customer says yes, then you start realizing that you could have charged a lot more a long time ago. That's where I want to get you to be. And look, the next thing is the absolute, as it is reality check as well, is that if you're not making a margin, you don't have a business. That is the facts and the reality of it. You've got to make money. I can't stress that enough. There's just no point doing it. It's not worth the headache. It is not worth the stress, the time, the sacrifices, the absolute ball ache, if I'm being quite frank and honest with you, if you're not making decent margins of profits, okay? So forget about small, thinking and a small mindset of, I don't know if I can charge this. You've got to put that to one side now and do things properly going forward, all right? And I know as well that it's hard for tradespeople or people that have grown up in this industry a long time of just being working hard physically all the time, grafting. That used to be me. But look, physical graft alone does not get you to where you want to be. It does not equate to you making money, okay? It's one part of it, but it's a small limited mindset of, look, it's only going to get you so far doing that. You can only bust your balls so much. We've got to flip that and turn it into more of a, let's make some money. But the key thing is you must be able to deliver on what you say you will to your customers and what your quote says, because reputation is everything in this game. The minute you lose your reputation, you are done. You do not want people saying bad things or the wrong things about you. You want your customers saying amazing things, so that leads to the next job, the next job, the next job. And that goes on for years. So I think I really need to point out that the service that you deliver is going to be the make or break for your business. You've got to think from your customer's perspective. They go to work like everyone else, they earn money, they save their money. They're going to be spending that well-earned and saved money on their property or back into their business if you're in the commercial market. It's well-earned cash that they've done a lot to get for it. And look, let's be honest as well, everyone's home or business is their baby. They treat it with so much love and passion. It's their sanctuary. So if they're getting work done on their home, it's really important to them. So you've got to treat it like that. You've got to see it for what it is and not moan about customers being picky or choosy or whatever, because for them it's a big deal. And a lot of people having bigger jobs done, like extensions, loft conversions, or building a brand new house, that's probably the biggest financial commitment or decision they'll make in their lifetime. And that's typically come from remortgaging their house, refinancing, getting money in, or it's come from inheritance or something like that, or a big bonus at work, or a sale of a company, whatever. There's been a lot of work in value in for those people to get that money in. So you've got to really understand that, put your customer in your mind first, respect them as the customer, and also deliver the service, which is what we're really going to push into on this part of the series and on this training, okay? And on that side note, if people are not saying good things about you after you've finished the job, look, unfortunately, it just means you're not very good. That's just a reality. You didn't leave a lasting impression. You didn't really over deliver on what you said you could have done, because the realities of life are, if someone's really happy with something, they'll talk about it and they'll tell people, and it will lead to referrals or more work. If you're not that great, they're not going to talk about you. So you've got to really understand that, and maybe look in the mirror and really grasp that, because if they're not talking about you, something is wrong. Right, look, before we kick in properly, you've got to get your hands out of your pants and make sure you click the notification button, you subscribe to the channel, you like it, comment below, let me know what you think of these videos. It all helps, and look, maybe one day I'll make a few quid out of a YouTube channel. Who knows? So at this stage, there are 7 things that I've got that you need to do. And number 1 is that you need to look the part. You need to look like the man who's respectful, the man who can deliver, or woman if you're listening to this. You need to look professional, you need to look the part. Because look, people always say you should never judge a book by its cover, but that is total bollocks. Because every single person, whether you like it or not, judges you by how you look. That is the reality of the world. And my thing with this, in this whole series, is saying it how it is. You actually get the information that you need to know. Because if you look scruffy, people will think you are scruffy, and you deliver scruffy. So if you look professional, you look smart, you're sharp, you communicate, people are going to think that you're sharp, you deliver, you're the man who says, when you say you can do something, you will make it happen. So step 1, you've got to look pristine. Your hair's got to be done. You've got to shave nice and neat and tidy. You need to be in a polo shirt with your logo on, professional. You can't be covered in shit because you look shit. Get it, right? Your van's got to be clean, tidy, sign written. Image is everything. Everything's got to match. Get that right first. Step 1. Then number 2, you need a very simple company website with a matching logo, 2 or 3 pages, type of works you do, good images. You've got to have some sort of place for people to go to find you and check you out, to verify who you are. It's mad that some people still don't have websites properly. You've got to have them. It's non-negotiable. You can get a simple one done for not a lot of money. You don't need a big elaborate website at this point in time. You just need to be findable, and people need to be able to contact you for your work. And the thing is, everyone Googles everyone these days. If you go to Google someone and you can't find them, it's actually a bit weird. You've got to be findable, and people want to snoop out and find information out about you before they'll even phone you to get you in to quote for work that they want doing. Then number 3, you need your basic social medias all set up with all the matching logos. You've got to be visible again. Just get the basics done, whether that's Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever platform that you typically like to use yourself and where your customers might be. You've just got to set them up and be visible and be on there, set up, easy, with the contact number, how to get in touch with you, your email, whatever way you're doing it. You've got to be set up and get those all in place. Then from there, part 4, what you need to do is actually pick up your phone and talk to every single person you know and explain what your company is, what you do, what you offer. And that, look, if you know of anyone who needs anything doing within that trade or whatever you can offer, tell them to let you know. And then they might be thinking that they might need something doing, or they do know someone. But you need to start and go back to a bit of the old school and actually talk to people, because your first few jobs and your first bit of success in business is going to come from people that know you because they already trust you. That's going to be your building blocks to then get more work down the line. So old school, pick up the phone, speak to people. This is what I'm doing. This is what I can offer. If you know of anyone, let me know. And you just start conversations flowing with people. Work is never ever going to come to you when you're starting out. You're going to have to get off your bum and go and get it. You're not just going to sit there, set up a website and a logo and expect people to just go to it and contact you out of nowhere. You're going to have to get your hands dirty and actually start operating like a business person and put yourself out there. And then 5, you'll actually be at the point of actually looking at jobs. And again, you'll be turning up professional, you'll look the part. Your main point of focus when you're looking at work is all about building a relationship with the customer. You want to be asking them the right questions, you want to be interested in them, interested in the work that they want doing, and offering advice and tips and knowledge that you've got in your field. But your main focus should be getting on with that person, because look, people buy from people they like. It's just how it is. If they like you, they're way more likely to buy from you. And look, top tip, you've got to be super on it. If you say you're going to be back to them in a week, because that's genuinely how long it takes for you to do a quote, you must get that quote back in a week, because they're sitting there waiting for it. If you don't, they're just thinking that you can't be bothered and you don't really give a toss. You don't really want the job. It's not what you want to start the relationship. So whatever you say you're going to do, deliver on it. Like, you must deliver and fulfill what you say you're going to do. And number 6 is actually part of the follow-up process. So you've looked at the job, you've then quoted the job, you then have then sent that quote into the client. What I like to do is actually reach out to the client straight away as soon as I sent it, by whatever method that they've contacted me, because that's what they like, whether they WhatsApp, they phone, they email. I would just drop them a little line or give them a phone call and say, look, I've just sent you the quote, just checking you've got it. If there's anything that doesn't make any sense, give me a call back and we can go through it. Bloody, bloody, blah. Just professional. It's just easy, simple, clean, quick, professional. People want people to talk to. Because believe it or not, your customers will have different questions that you haven't even thought of, because you know what you're doing. You know your trade, you know what you deliver. It's second nature to you. But someone who's worked in IT their whole life, they don't understand the little bits and the tricky bits of what you do. So be the person that's open to communicating, and then again, it's building that relationship as you go on. Okay. After that, you then leave it a week to follow up. I would then follow up in the same method as that you did before, and then from that point, you've either won the work or you haven't. And you need to know that. You don't have it hanging and lingering for weeks and weeks and weeks that you might win it, you might have this job. You need to know, yes or no, have you won the job or not? Because then the very next part is actually tracking the numbers. Like, every month, you need to be able to track and go, right, we have quoted this many jobs, this is how many leads come in, we quoted this many, we've won this many, and you need to know the answers for what you did win and what you didn't win, as the reasons why, so you can review that, so that next month you can tweak and adapt as you go. Got to track the numbers the whole time. Because what I do want to get across is that feelings, assumptions, and guessing, they're all lies, they're all made up in your own head, but the numbers, the tracking, the actual realities, they're the facts that keep you on the straight and narrow, okay? So work with them. Don't just work in your head, work with the numbers in front of you. They don't lie. Numbers do not lie. Okay, so that's what really keeps the pulse, running, and your hand on that pulse of understanding your business. So now, look, if you haven't subscribed, you haven't clicked the notification button yet, wherever it is on or around this video, make sure you do that now so that you get the next part as soon as it gets released. And we will be digging further into each bit of the business. But for now, that's it. We're cool. I'll see you on the next one.